So what do you call a movie that is just as much a sequel as it is a remake?
Everything is possible.
Even the impossible. Off we go.
Hello there everybody, it's me, the Canadian Rebuff, with a review of Mary Poppins Returns. Taking place about 20 years later, the Banks children are all grown up, and Michael has kids of his own. But out of the blue, Mary Poppins returns. However, her comeback may serve a purpose, as the Banks are on the verge of losing their house. Out of all the properties that Disney has, making a sequel to Mary Poppins feels like an odd choice. Especially since P.L. Travers hated the first movie and explicitly left it in her will that she didn't want any more movies made about the character. So getting a sequel feels a little desecrating to say the least. And while it is a fun musical, the structure of the story and the musical numbers, it feels like it's trying a bit too hard to mimic beat by beat what made the first one so good. I will give this movie credit, there is a sense of escapism throughout the whole movie. Of course, most musicals have that effect, but everything about 1930s London seems to blend in well with the whimsical attitudes of the children and Mary Poppins. Aside from the two very obvious whimsical sequences, and one upside-down sequence featuring Meryl Streep, the world around them feels very natural and doesn't feel over the top. The choreography of this movie is excellent, and the production design really blends in with the setting. And each musical number blends in well with the structure of the story. It's not like there's a 50-minute musical number that just drags on and distracts from the plot. Everything feels naturally woven in, even the more whimsical parts of it. And speaking of whimsical, I gotta talk about the 2D animation sequence. Man, oh man, does that feel like a callback to a bygone era. With everything 3D animation related, except for a few exceptions, being mostly the same, it's nice to see the movie pay tribute to an art form that is no longer popular or even exists within the Walt Disney Company. Maybe we'll see more 2D animations done in this style in the future, but we'll never know. Please let that happen, please let that happen. Okay, let me start with the characters. They're all placeholders. Think about it, all the main characters in this movie are replacements for the characters in the original. Michael has replaced his father as the uptight, stiff, no-nonsense parental figure. Jane has taken up her mother's role and being the social progressive activist. Colin Firth plays the big bag of mustache head of the bank who wants to get the house. And Jack is the happy-go-lucky character who does all the dirty jobs that nobody wants, but he gets a kick out of it anyways. I do have to give them credit for how they handle Michael's children. In the first one, Michael and Jane were misbehaving little kids who needed Mary Poppins to set them straight, but here they're well behaved, which makes all the more mystery of why she would come back in the first place. Well, once you get a feel for the characters and then see how the musical numbers are structured, you kind of see where the story is going. That's why I say this movie is equal parts remake and sequel, because while it is a follow-up to the original story, it is basically taking the original Mary Poppins movie and remaking it for a new generation. Not saying there's anything wrong with getting kids interested in older movies, but why bother making the movie at all if it's just going to be a rehash of the original? Oh yeah, by the way, Michael's wife's dead. Hey, it's a Disney movie. Plus, like I said before, they have Jane to replace her mother as the social progressive female character, so say goodbye to the wife. Mary Poppins Return is a remake role that is unfortunately further proof that Disney can't really do anything outside of the IPs they currently have. Like, think about movies that you can point to and say, yeah, that's a Disney movie. Sure, Marvel and Star Wars are technically Disney movies, but they don't open with the iconic Star of the Sky and then panning down to the castle while Tinkerbell flies over it. The live-action movies that had that this year were Wrinkle in Time, Christopher Robin, Nutcracker in the Four Realms, and of course, Mary Poppins Returns. Christopher Robin and Mary Poppins are remakes or sequels to pre-existing properties. A Wrinkle in Time is a book adaptation, and Nutcracker is a sort of mystery fantasy twist on a classic ballet. Two of these IPs have a history with Disney. The other are A Wrinkle in Time and Nutcracker in the Four Realms. So in other words, these bombed, these didn't. Yeah, I'm going to stop myself before I turn this into a Disney needs to make better content rant. I will say that I did enjoy Mary Poppins Returns. It's not as good as the original, or maybe it's just not as good as I remembered it, but it's a nice nostalgia factor for those who grew up with it when they were younger, and it's also a good way for the younger audiences to be introduced to this character and, of course, the original movie. It's a solid way to pass a couple hours. I liked the musical numbers, the acting, the animation, the effects, the production design, but the story and characters weren't something I would brag about. I definitely do think that it is worth watching once in theaters. Alright, that's my review of Mary Poppins Returns. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Leave your answer by commenting down below, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you're new here, and as always, this is the Canadian Movie Buff saying I hope you had a fantastic weekend at the movies. See ya!